What's up guys, so bringing you another gameplay, and this gameplay will feature the Football Outsiders Ezekiel Elliott. Shout out to ETP23 for loaning me the card. And as you see, my opponent has Antonio Brown and the new Clowney, so a very good team, and he is also in the top 100 as well. Now as usual, I'm going to let the game just play in the background because I do have a couple of things to talk about. The first of which being, for the longest time I've said that the juking and spinning moves are dead in Madden 17, and that may be true for most of the community, but the juking and spinning itself is certainly not dead whatsoever. And I had this change of heart because playing with running backs such as Jamal Charles, Team of the Week Gordon, Dorsett obviously just recently, they have proven to me that the juke and spinning moves are still very much alive. It's just that when the game first came out, obviously, you know, it was a whole new experience. You know, you had to relearn pretty much how to juke and spin. And obviously it's not just about relearning how to juke and spin, it's also about having the right running back. If you're trying to juke with someone now with say a 75 juke, it's not going to be surprising that he's not going to, you know, perform as well, because in Madden 16, if you knew how to use the double juke, it did not matter what the ratings were like whatsoever. And the same could be said for the spin move last year. You know, the spin rating definitely came into play a bit more than the juke, but it was still much easier to spin last year, because last year it did not matter which way you were pressing the left thumbstick. As long as you press circle or B at the right time, you would pretty much get a successful spin. And if you knew how to double juke, and if you were good at timing the spin, you could use pretty much any back as an elusive back. I saw it happen so many times with running backs that I had last year, but this year it's definitely more about the left thumbstick and timing as well. So it's just obviously a lot tougher this year. And I understand why trucking and stiff arming are so popular this year, because they haven't really changed that much, and I find it hard to believe that trucking and stiff arming will ever change. So, and then of course when you got guys like Derrick Henry who are just monsters on their own, even if you don't know how to truck and stiff arm yet, those guys can just break tackles on their own. But I just posted a video showing a 10-win season with Tony Dorsett as my starting running back. So you can obviously win big games with these elusive backs as long as you know how to use them right. I understand that it takes time to get used to them, but it is possible. And I do plan on doing a top 5 elusive back video very soon, because after playing with Tony Dorsett, man, he really made a case for me to want to not replace Henry, but, you know, combine them together on the field at the same time. That's how amazing Dorsett was for me. And I'm sure as time goes on, you know, we're going to keep getting running backs that can, you know, also spin and juke. But obviously it doesn't hurt to get a running back who can do it all. Anyways, the next thing I want to talk about is the Thanksgiving promo, because most likely that's the next promo that we're going to see. And I'm not going to get my hopes up, because I got my hopes up for the Road to the Playoff promo this year, because I was expecting them to drop a whole bunch of gold and elite player upgrades like they have in the past, but they already announced that they're not going to do that, which just sucked. So last year what they did, I think they dropped like maybe 20 or 25 players for the Thanksgiving promo. I'm not saying that they're not going to do that this year, but after letting me down with the Road to the Playoff promo, I'm not going to get my hopes up. For all we know, they could probably just drop like maybe 10 players for all we know. But still, last year they introduced the Thanksgiving Jeremy Langford. He was like my favorite player, so who knows, maybe they might drop another player in the Thanksgiving promo that becomes my favorite. One more thing that I want to talk about is the EA guys using the exact same legends for the exact same holiday promos. I think like 3 years in a row we've had Bo Jackson as the Christmas promo, like biggest overall card, and last year we had Barry Sanders as the highest overall card. So would anybody really be surprised if they have like a Thanksgiving legend, you know, mystery, and then it turns out to be Barry Sanders? Would anybody really be that surprised? I'm not complaining or anything, because Bo Jackson, Barry Sanders, they're amazing cards to have, but honestly, would anybody really be that surprised? And as far as this game goes, it was definitely back and forth. You know, I would score, he would score, I would score, he would score. And Ezekiel Elliott definitely had some nice plays here and there. And he was calling a lot of Bucs land, but thankfully I was moving my running backs to the left, like I've told you guys to do, and he stopped calling it because it stopped working. But right here I do settle for a field goal, but I definitely was nervous because I gave him a lot of time to work with, and even 2 timeouts, so a lot of time for him to make a nice comeback. And of course I come out in quarters defense, and of course he runs up the middle for a huge gain. And he is just lighting me up, man, getting huge chunks of yards at a time. and I'm getting nervous. And right here, he tries to recreate what he did in the first quarter and throw it deep to Randy Moss for a touchdown, but Champ Bailey turns into the receiver and picks it off, and that ices the game. We all know what's coming next. But anyways, guys, the Elliott review should be coming tomorrow. And let me know, guys, how do you feel about the juke and spin move this late in the game? And what are you expecting from the Thanksgiving promo? I'll see ya boys later, man. Peace.